Welcome to Throttle Roots Podcast with host Ray Restoglide and co-host Joe Black Sheep Dyna 33. Viewer discretion advised. Please get parent consent before viewing.
You like Joe's intro?
I do like that intro.
Fucking that happened like I forgot who we were here. It was Jesse, no fucks given. We had him on the podcast, and then like that thing was just rolling, and then Joe just fucking kind of was like on one, or he was just in a good headspace, and he just rolled with it, man.
It reminds me of like, because I grew up in San Diego, like the used car tent sale at Qualcomm.
We want a little bit of that vibe, but he was just in headspace where he's like, when he was done at the end of the podcast, he goes, "Dog, can you make that like an intro?" I got you, dog.
Yeah,
so I went back to the lab and did my little spiel with it. I sent it to him, and he was fucking like grinning ear to ear. He's all, "Fuck yeah!"
It sounds so clean too.
It was fun. It was fucking fun, man. I like when things happen organically,
right?
Like I get we sometimes have to in a media thing. We got to fucking put ourselves out there, but organically it's always nice. So, Thirsty Thursday, homeboy. Prodigy is with me tonight. We got our homie cruising over. Cheers, brother. I'm having a Heineken Zero with you. Joe brought these over, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm finishing these off. There was one left. I'm on a little workout trip right now. So
I'm on a water trip right now.
Yeah, well, I'm on a workout trip. So I was like, how many calories in that bitch? It says 69 calories. And I'm almost like, fuck, that's probably like 30 burpees that I did. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Always,
Yeah, calculate it.
You got to, sometimes you just got to weigh it out. But today I'm like, you know what? I'm having it's non-alcoholic. I want a little taste in my mouth, little dribble in my mouth, man. So cheers to you, man.
Yes, sir.
So, anyways, guys, it's been a minute since I've been on here, man. So, of course, this podcast brought to you by our homeboys, Law Tigers, man. Prodigy out on the road all the damn time, dude. And when you know you're out there that much, it's nice to know you got someone that can take care of that shit if you need them. We never want to know that we need or that we want it. We never want to have them, but sometimes we need them, man. Right. You been down?
Once,
yeah. And what's the first thing you think of? Your fucking bike.
Yeah.
Fucking bike,
yeah,
man.
I was good. The bike. I was
even if you're not
bike.
good, dog, you're like, how's my bike? You could be beaten, bruised, and shit. And you're like, where's my bike? What happened to my bike, dog? And so in those situations, Law Tigers, homeboys like that, good to fucking have, man.
Right.
So 1-800 fucking Law Tigers, man. They support us. If they need you or if you need them, they got your ass. All right. Prodigy, dog. It's been a minute. It's been not a minute. It's been a journey to get you over here to kick it, right? You and I tried to connect a few different times.
We were trying to connect, for sure.
So I appreciate you fucking rolling over, man.
Most definitely.
For those of you guys that don't know, Prodigy, homeboy, I got introduced to you through Mikey, who's cruising over. He's on his way. I got introduced to you through him, dog, and just, again, back to the organic. You guys how'd you guys meet?
So we were neighbors. Where we stayed at,
were you
neighbors?
Okay.
And obviously, I hear Harley, he hears a Harley. You poke your head out, you gotta have a conversation.
Natural love connection.
Yeah. So that was it. That was it right there. And then Mike's been my boy ever since.
It's good. He's a good man, man.
Yeah.
He's a good, solid dude, man. So that's why when he was like, I want to come over and spit about what you're putting out there on the table, because I think he's a good value to it. He's been through some shit. Him and I shared some shit. We kind of share some similar backgrounds or experiences, so to speak, and can weigh on you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, but before we dive into that shit, dog, I want people to know a little bit about Prodigy, dog, because fucking you just blew up fucking here.
Yeah,
you're working on bikes and shit now, man. We were talking a little bit about it before, before we bang that red button. So what are you working on, dog?
Right now it's just been growing the garage space. That has been my love and my passion for the past 3 months. So I started working on bikes a while ago. It's just been my love. I've been around bikes since before I was crawling. I'm second gen. My pops rides my whole life. So started taking it seriously about a year ago. Like I would work on bikes here and there, but about a year ago it was like, no, this is what I want to do. Like I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So shout out to Bryson Miller Speedco. I'm over there interning. He's teaching me crazy knowledge. Shout out to Mark and Scooter. But
good shop to
great shop
intern, man. I'm
exactly.
Not,
So yeah, I've been over there just getting all the knowledge and working out on my own garage as well. That's just been my hustle. I'm still active duty Navy.
Appreciate
Yeah.
the service,
For
dog.
sure,
I'm
for sure. Thank you
you,
for
you get
support.
that a lot. You get that a lot.
You know what? Even when I'm with my lady, like I'll try to, if we have to run to the grocery store right after I get off work, I try to run home to take off the uniform. Because otherwise, like every single aisle you're here taking for service, which is great,
Of course. But I would imagine it'd get redundant, and
I think because of stigma, like to be an asshole to like somebody you're working with in uniform, like they'll do something and you're like, "Oh, thank you for your service," just be an asshole. So then that's kind of like stigmatism
I feel
in uniform we have with it.
I feel you. I feel you.
But yeah, but I started taking it seriously about a year ago, and then now it's just been just going crazy. I'm working on bikes every week, pretty much every day. I have a new bike coming in the garage working, so I just feel blessed to be able to do that.
That's a blessing, dog. Respect to that, man. It's there's therapy, like involved with it
for sure.
It's like there's something about it because I'm a wrencher myself, not to the point of where I'm like I've worked on friends' bikes, done all that type of shit, but not like where you're taking it,
right?
But every time I'm done, there's some type of therapy that I'm like, there was a sense of accomplishment. There was like, there may have been something on my mind, but I just kind of dove into a primary or I dove into whatever.
Right.
And then when I'm all done, I'm like, clean my hands.
Yeah. And that was the best feeling when I really started to take it seriously. And I watched people bring me their bikes that had leaks or had shorts or different things that they had wrong. The engine wasn't working, clutch went out.
Yep.
And I was able to fix it. And they sit there and they hit me up when they get home. Cause I always tell all my customers, hey, hit me when you get home safe. And they'll be like, bro, I love my bike again. Like I was about to sell it and then you grabbed it and I love my bike again. So just that, like you said, that sense of accomplishment
that's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling.
Doing something with your hands. There's a very gratifying.
Yeah, for sure.
Is like, I don't know, there's a sense of accomplishment with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My day job. Yeah. I'm banging on a keyboard. I'm doing this. Yeah. And I'm moving. I'm people moving. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Right. I'm making things happen. But it ain't the same feeling even as when I go like cut my grass.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
It's something about that accomplishment. Yeah.
It's something different.
For
so
sure.
I know the hit. I know the feel. It's got a little bit of a needle to the arm.
I think it's for me, it's like something I invested in myself. Like I had to buy the parts. I had to buy. Yeah. And these tools, they're not cheap. So when I see a big return on my investment, you know what I mean? That's just, and I invested in myself.
Yeah.
I'm not over here punching someone else's time clock, making someone else rich. I'm doing it all for myself. So
feel you.
That's what
I heard the gate squeaking. Here he comes. The man, the motherfucking myth, the legend.
Is it the bike or the rider?
We gonna find out today, dog. What's up, old boy? Mikey fucking entered the chat.
What's going on?
Take a seat, homeboy. Fucking glad you cruised over, dog. We were just fucking chatting it up for people that don't know about Prodigy, where he fucking came from into our circle, dog. Because we don't let too many motherfuckers. I'm not saying that in a bad
you
way.
Gotta keep your circle small.
But you can't just let everybody in, and now you're in my garage. I'd say you're in the circle now, dog.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it.
But what it is cool people like gravitate to cool people.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. We share a common interest. You're cool. You pound miles. You do this. You do that. Whatever it may be. We gravitate toward another. You need a high or lower? You good?
Am I high?
Are you
high?
Are you?
No,
no. Do you need to be? We can make you.
I'm definitely.
Yeah. Do you need your volume higher, fucking lower?
I know we're good.
You good?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. So we were just talking a little bit about where Prodigy came into a little background into it and shit, man.
Is Joe coming back?
No, Joe's fucking goo in the graveyard shit, boy. I think he got to go to work around 8:00 and shit. Here, spit right into like right around there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Joe's fucking on that graveyard shit right now, man.
Yeah, I hit him, and normally like he'll respond super quick with like a long, and he like liked it. I was like, oh, he's working.
Oh, he's fucking yeah. I even called him earlier, and then it's rare. So I'm about to sound like a married couple, but I called him and he fucking sent me the voicemail. I'm on motherfucker. No, I wasn't thinking that. But he was busy doing some shit, and I'm like, oh fuck, man, busy type shit, man. So Mikey, Live Fast Rally, dog. I was asking Prodigy, man. We just fucking wrapped that fucker up, man. That was Live Fast is always fun.
It's always fun.
So Live Fast is always
better
fun.
every year.
Yeah. Have you been?
I haven't been to Live Fast.
Not yet. Are you going to be here for your next round?
No, but I can still make it.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. You know, I like the miles. It's all good.
You do put down
It's all
miles,
good.
man. We were talking about your warranty. Fucking said, "Oh, I needed to do this, and I needed to put 1,000 miles on it before the warranty kicked in."
I'll do it.
So I just
I'll do it
fucking
in
went
a day.
I just went to Arizona and came back.
Yeah.
I'm like this
I see
motherfucker.
that. I said quad lock. I'm like, where's my phone at?
Yeah, but Live Fast was good, dog. We got to try and get you up there. We just fucking finished that one up as far as Throttle Roots is concerned, but that's a fun one, dog. That's in our backyard. It's kind of like up.
I feel like
sticks.
that's what I've got into moving into the 805 is like before was a lot of the MC events that I'm used to, and now moving into the 805, it's more of like the big rallies. It's super dope that I never had experiences here or there, but now I'm getting into it, especially being in the 805 when you got to travel a little bit.
Hey, but those MC events, dog, they got a vibe. I see, I see Sugar Free up in the motherfucker. We've
had Sugar Free a couple times.
You know? Ain't nothing wrong with that shit, dog. So, well, gentlemen, I wanted to talk a little bit about fucking. I want to context some of this shit. How old are you, dog?
I'm 22.
22. I got 22-year-old. He's a youngster. He's a fucking youngster. And the reason I was like excited, I'm like, one, we had been trying to fucking get him over here to kick it. But two, I was like, ooh, a youngster that wants to spit about some like men's mental health shit. Yeah. Because I'll be real, when I was younger, Mikey, you probably came up the same way. You may come up the same way because you were around MC stuff. It's a different kind of world, different kind of play.
Right.
A lot of machismo, a lot of that shit.
Right.
And I was younger. You had shit like that, dog. You just kind of fucking like, well, you're just dog. Deal.
Right.
Handle. Right. Yep. Handle. That was usually the fucking message growing up. But then as I got older and shit, man, more responsibilities, being a father, being a husband, all the fucking weight that shit carries, I started going, oh, fuck. I got like 100 fucking things on my mind that I'm always constantly trying to like do.
Right.
Just as being a man, not fucking being like an extra man, just being just a fucking, shit. just providing, doing what you got to do. And that's a grind. Like that shit, like it's every day. It shit don't stop. Like, you know, you're looking at I look at it in perspective of like, damn, I'm looking at the time. I'm not, well, yeah, we're always should be kind of looking at the timer, but I look at it in perspective like, damn, my kids are like 2 and 3. Yeah. This shit ain't gonna stop for a fucking minute. While. You about to, you know, this shit ain't the head game and all the mental stuff that comes along with just the physical of moving and doing this.
You're gonna learn soon.
Yeah, man. You're gonna fucking learn soon, man. But you know, it came across my feed, you know, Instagram, social media is great for that. And I thought, fuck, man, this is actually a topic that in my head, I kind of always had like, I want to do a podcast on this. I want to spit about it. Like, I want to be real about it. I'm all right being vulnerable. I'm fucking completely secure with myself to be vulnerable and express like some shit I've gone through.
Sure. And
I've always thought, fuck, let's do this. And then this month I saw that this shit was popping. Like this is what the month was. And I went, dog, we got to like, we've created a platform. We've created a voice to be able to like connect. And if that message connects with one person and they're like, damn, homeboy's going through it. Homeboy's been through it, whatever it may be. That's the purpose. And that's why I was like, I'm sitting down one way or the other, whether anybody's cruising over or not, I'm just going to kind of vomit at the mouth with what I got fucking going on.
One, you need a new phone, bro. Because
the green bubble. He has green bubble.
I'll message back on Instagram, your MySpace, everything you have, and you don't.
I'm working on it.
I was gonna put it on the message.
Look at, for fuck's sake, dude, my phone is it's broken. It's.
Yeah, I mean, it take 4 of us put in $50 a piece.
Stop it!
I'll put it on it.
Stop it! Run a damn media platform, and I look at all this shit, and my phone's off. Yeah, I'm on the green bubble shit, man. I'll change that. But yeah, dog. I just wanted to spit about it, man. And Mikey, I know you and I was telling Prodigy, we share some, I guess, similar experience, to be honest. You know, especially as of recent, you know, and that shit just adds to it. But I think, my opinion, you guys fill in the blanks, or you're fucking, that's why we're here to talk about it, is it doesn't get talked about enough. Like fucking gets like, and I don't want to be all like, you know, emo. I'm not trying to have a conversation like that today. We're trying to have a real fucking man type conversation, but nobody ever talks about this shit, dog.
I think the eye opener for me, especially being in the military, is I've lost more people to suicide than I have to combat.
Trip,
And
dog.
I think that even though no, we're not in a wartime, but for me to be in for 4 years, almost 5 years, and I've lost a whole bunch of people to suicide versus I lost a handful to combat, but that ratio was wild to me. But it's just something that's not talked about. It's not harped on. A lot of people are raised, like you said, we don't talk about it.
Shove it down.
You go through what you go through.
Puffing up, youngster.
And I think the key to it is understanding your problems will not go away, but talking about it and talking through it with people who have been there in your shoes, like me talking to you guys.
Yep.
You guys have been through fatherhood before. I'm entering it, so
Yep.
those mental stressors of how I'm going to provide or what do I do to keep the lights on, you know what I mean? Or everyone's counting on me, I'm not in the right mental space. How can I still put out that energy is the conversations that should be had.
Those are all the things, dog. Like those are just a few. That's like a nail. That's just a tip of the iceberg on what men think about. Like you're starting to say, like, how do I pay the bills? How do I keep the lights on? How to make sure the kids fed? I spend time with my wife, spend time with my kids.
Right.
Go ride my fucking motorcycle, fix my fucking motorcycle, mow the goddamn lawn. So listen, I'll sit here forever, dog. That's what we carry on a fucking regular basis. Now, that's mine.
Right.
Your guys' might fucking be a little bit different, but the concept that you have that much on your plate, typically for like a man that's really running through life at what a man, in my opinion, is supposed to do.
Yeah.
That fucking shit bears on you, dog.
Yeah.
It takes a toll on you, bro.
I
mean, because a lot of the times we don't understand what somebody's going through because they don't show it. We don't talk about it. We know someone through Instagram, social media, and that's a highlight reel in itself. Every once in a while, you'll catch, something personal about someone.
Yep.
They'll bring it up every once in a while, but it's a definitely a topic that's not talked about amongst men. I mean, in our generation, we were taught we couldn't. It's just, suck it up and handle your business and do what you got to do to make it work. Figure it out. That's been my motto since I was born. Brought up with my dad and shit. Was just figure it out, get it done.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we're busy like that. We got shit going on. We're running a business. We got the kids. We have to figure out, shit's paid. We got a lot of stuff. In retrospect, you look at it on both ends, both parents are doing the same shit.
Of course. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in our sense, we take a little bit more pride in stuff because we're supposed to be the provider, the protector, the person that's
absolutely
doing the bulk of the
That's
work.
what I'm saying. If you're like, I'm all right speaking for the men at this table and saying like, we all got that same mentality of I'm a provider, I'm a nurturer, I'm a protector.
Right.
And that is what encompasses all this shit, man.
Right.
That's the weight.
I think a lot of times too is that we also need. I mean, because I've had a lot of conversations with a couple of guys that, they'll ask certain questions about what are you gonna do? They don't know personal shit about me, and then I kind of let them know like I don't have my parents, and then it's kind of a conversation from there where they get perspective. And it's kind of like, damn, they look at things a little bit differently and kind of see like, okay, you have a better understanding of what this person's going through or what they go through at certain times. And do they need to talk about it? Sure. Should they? Sure. But a lot of times they don't, bro.
I think the biggest thing too is checking in with your homies. You know what I mean? It goes beyond Throttle Roots. It goes beyond two wheels. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, that was one of the first deep things I learned about Mike was he lost both of his parents. All right, cool. Knew it was Mother's Day. He told me, hey, did you go see your mom? You know what I mean? Checking in with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I am blessed that I have both parents, but I know that I have them both here today. He doesn't. So let me reach out to my bro and see how he's feeling, because that's a pain that you never you learn different ways to cope with it, but you never let go of that.
100%.
I mean? Yeah.
I'll piggyback on that feeling because the reaching out is important.
Yeah.
It is. And
That's
we got a group chat of the homies here, man. And we dick around in that thing, but that's a way for us to be reaching out. Like, and that's just a communication thing. But on top of it, reach out even when the smile is on.
Right.
Like legit. Cause I mean, I don't think Brennan would matter because he used his brother not as an example, but as a sample of how this stuff exists. Because Brennan Baptista, he lost his brother, and he looked at his brother like he's on top of the world. He's got a construct. He's got this. He's got.
Personally, I love that he's open with that.
You know,
and I love that he opens up because there is going to be a group of people that are going to reach out, and that's big on him to be able to do that. And I see a lot of that on his end, and at the same time, I see on the flip side of it, we see the outlet, right? We see what he does to relieve that stress that we carry as men, right? And the motherfucker's great at it, you know.
Really fucking good.
But that's if you ever get a chance to talk to that guy, man, off the bike and just have a conversation with them, you can definitely tell that the guy's got a good heart. He means well.
He does.
And he's all about good conversation, and I don't think he'd have a problem opening up to anybody that wanted to talk about something.
Not at all, because him and I had some good-hearted, like down-to-earth conversations, like man to man, like no barriers, none of that shit, dude. Just like, hey, man, let's talk, man. Like that's a heartbreaker right there. And so you got to let people just vomit. You just got to let them be able to do that shit. And in those conversations, though, I did learn a lot about him, but I also learned a lot about exactly what we're talking about. Is he was smiling like nobody could have thought, or nobody would have thought. Like that this is how Brandon explained it to me, man. You know,
a lot of men are like that, bro. They'll put that
poker
face on, and you have no clue, bro, because you're like, dude, this motherfucker just had no idea, you know. And you see that a lot, you know, with people you grow up with, or might have gone to high school with, or you knew of for a few years, and maybe lost contact because you're not in the same kind of, you know, I like bikes and they don't like bikes, so we don't really chop it up too much. But then you read like, you know, suicide or something crazy, and it's like, yo, man, like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like, what, you know, you kind of wonder, like, man, did this guy ever have a time to talk to somebody? Was something else going on? Shit like that, you know what I mean?
You never know what's between someone's ears, man. And I will, like, I'll get vulnerable with it in terms of my old man.
Right.
Like, people know, I think at this point, most know that I lost my old man in 2019, and with close people, they know, but at this point, 5 years down the road, and having a conversation like this, I'm like, this is a opportunity, unfortunately, with my old man situation, to go, hey, learn, you know, like, because he dealt with depression,
right?
And it led ultimately to what his passing was, you know. Like, I won't go through the in depth of what the series of events was, but in that moment, during that time, he was in a place, in a headspace where he was just low.
Right.
And he didn't reach out. He didn't reach out enough, or nobody reached out to him. Like, you know, like I carry guilt, you know, fuck, dude. Then you start to carry guilt like that, because you're like, fuck, man, you know, like, should I, could I have?
The woulda, coulda,
shoulda. I had that because I lost my brother to suicide. My big brother.
How old was your brother?
He was 22.
Young.
I want to say 22, and it was like the month before I was leaving for the Navy. But same thing, that was my hero. That was my brother that I wanted to dress like him. I wanted to talk like him. He showed me how to.
How old were you when
I was 18.
Old enough to recognize what's going on.
To recognize what's going on. I remember just sitting there like, bro, because obviously I've had my own struggles with mental health. So I'm like, to be in that situation and to have those thoughts, I've been there, but to really be there to finish what you're doing. Yeah. I'm like, bro, like what was going on, right? Or like what you said in between your 2 ears, where it's like to finish the thought and to complete the process. And that's me. I was talking to my other brother. I'm like, bro, like, should we have got him to try to join the Navy, or like reached out more? And like my brother told me, and he was just like you said, like, you can't play with the what ifs and the guilt. Like, you have to live on for them. And you see the signs of what they had. If you notice them in you or someone else, that's how you carry on, and then you help those around you and yourself.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We learn, and people learn through experiences of others, and the way that we represent and we share those experiences, you know. And at 18 years old, that's rough, man, when you got your older brother that you're like, you know, looking up to, and you're right, man, to put things into perspective and really make it be like, like, oh, fuck, is exactly what you said, because that's exactly what it did to me. I was like, oh, shit, is you have those thoughts of like, I'm just going to go. Right. Like, I'm going to end it. But then to actually like 100% commit to that, right? That's a low. You got to be in a really low place, man. And we know that is, you know, it's a fucking rough, dude. But you got to reach out. I think that's like,
well, and beyond reaching out, something that we haven't hit on is counseling. A lot of people, especially in the minority community, we think it's cliche to go sit down and talk about it. You know what I mean? But like, it doesn't matter what race you are, what gender you are, what you're into. Like everyone could use, even if you think nothing is wrong. Like I go to counseling once a week. I was diagnosed with PTSD. I've been going to counseling once a week since, but it helps
just to get it out, right?
Right, and it's you don't fear of someone running to go tell anything because you know it's 100% confidentiality. You can just talk to a complete stranger and leave it there, and it doesn't follow you with, oh, I'm ashamed to go talk to this person now because they know what I've been through. No, you just, you know what I mean? That's something I think we don't talk about enough. Like insurance covers a lot of it.
That's a good point. That's
Like,
actually a really good
counseling.
point. Yeah, that's a real good point. Talking about it is key. This is a form of talking about it.
Right.
Not everybody.
So a lot of people too. I know a few people that go to therapy. I know a few people that have really close homies that they can call and someone they can just kind of sit with, and they'll give them like the legit what they need to hear, not what they want to hear type shit, right? And a lot of people need to hear the truth of things, and it's kind of like, you know, kind of just got to face it sometimes. And when you have a friend, whether it be male or female, that can put some perspective in your life and kind of make you sit back and like, you know what, I never look at it that way. It changes things, and you have a way to either get better, or at least you have a vision of something that you didn't see before.
Yeah.
You can try to get better at it, but definitely venting it, talking about it is something a lot of men don't do that they should. They should.
A true friend, in my opinion, will tell you the things that you probably don't want to hear, because you can. Like, I heard a message recently, and it was at church. I'm definitely not afraid to say any of that, but that you can hear the same thing like 20 different damn times, and it may not stick with you, you know, but it's a you got to talk. You got to fucking open up. You got to be fucking real with people, and you just can't be worried about the stigma, because that's what the fuck comes along with this motherfucker. Is there's a stigma that comes along with, oh, he's weak. If you like, you know, like
90
like,
fucking
that's the
percent
stigma
of men
that comes
have gone through
along
some
with
shit,
it,
bro.
yeah.
I'm sorry, you've gone through some shit in your life, whether you lost someone, whether you're an addict, whether you fucking whatever happened, bro. You've gone through a crisis point in your life where you need to vent that sometimes, and you try to mask it and try to put things in front of it. But at the end of the day, one of my buddies brought this up to me. If someone brings up something to you and that shit makes you like knot up, or it triggers you, bothers you haven't confronted that shit. You haven't really talked about that enough.
That's a good point.
To understand, like, hey, this is still something that's bottled up that you need to get out. So if somebody brings up something to you, ask about why this, why didn't you do this when your dad was alive? You know, those questions that sometimes you're like, yo, back up. I don't want to hear those things, but you need to hear that. Like, yo, why didn't you show up when you were an hour away, when you could have just rode your bike over there at the time? You know, those are things where you're kind of like, shit, I need to hear that to have a better understanding of why I keep going through this circle.
A little bit of maybe accountability might be the right word for it, you know, like you got to have homies in your corner like that will tell you, you know, you can go and seek 20 people's advice until you get the answer that you want to hear. You know, the one person that tells you the shit that you don't want to hear,
right?
They're the ones that are like, oh, everyone else told me
that's the one you remember
that I should. Everyone else said, spend all your money on lotto tickets, invest all your savings. That's a good idea. One person said that's not a good idea. That might be the fucking one that's a good solid friend, you know. That's but vent, man. Vent, talk to people. I've learned that in my older my adulthood life, 41, about to be 42 this year, God willing, I make it there, and a lot more. That it's real. I deal with this stuff.
You
like,
just made me realize fucking birthday's 11 days. I'll be 41. You fucking you know what?
Fucking old.
I love this kid though, man. Ever since I met this dude, I'll tell you what, he might be 22, but this is a mature kid right here, man. He's gonna be a good dad. He knows his shit.
Proud of you,
He takes care of his business.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of the guys he brings around, a little bit more of our age, and they got good things to say about him. So I'm proud of this little guy right here, man. He's gonna be doing good things. He's got a trade too, so he's literally do a little mechanic thing. I'm like, all right, bro, you gonna get better every year. You know, you get better, so that's good. But
I think that's why, like, you can relate and you can sit down at this table and have a productive, good conversation about it and relate to it. One, the military experience. I know there's a whole nother side of that, but even though you ain't a dad yet, well, at least biologically, let me backtrack. You know, you still take the role of a dad. Just blood don't make you a fucking dad. But even though you haven't had the years sorry, Mike, of experience that we've had. I gotta be real with you, dog. Even though you don't have that years of experience.
Not to cut you off, it was surreal when with my son and him were in the garage, and I'm like, yo.
No, you know what's always crazy to me? So your son is what, a year younger than me?
He's 22.
Oh, so it's the same age as me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm like, bro, like, why do I feel like 30 years older than this dude standing right next to me? He's the same age as me. But I think it was a lot of things too. I think
the environment he grew up in.
Yeah, I think it was
He
like
showed me pictures with his pops.
I have a
and
good,
he's
yeah.
been around the bike
without even, I could tell you, dog, without even knowing like who your old man is, where your friend group is at, knowing just like the lifestyle you live, the men that you just kind of are probably around with
Right.
that shit right there. That shit right there makes you.
And I think it
older.
was crazy because even I turned 18, I moved back to California. I got stationed back in California, bought my bike, and I was around, you know, all the people in my club, and they're in their 40s, and that's what I was kicking it with. And one of them stopped. They were like, "You don't have any friends your age?" And I'm like, "Bro, everybody my age can't afford a bike, still on their mom's couch." I was like, "Bro, like I want to be around people who are like where I'm at." You guys are talking about like houses and LLCs and taxes. Like this is what I'm trying to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So like standing next to his son, I'm like, because I even talked to my lady. I'm like, babe, you feel like I like lost out on like going out and partying and living because like I grew up so fast? And she was like, no. But then I realized like when I'm given the opportunity, like, hey, you want to go out to the club? No, I don't.
Still don't.
You want to go ride bikes? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
Like, you know
what I mean? But like my pops taught me, it was like you either do what you love and or you find something that's gonna pay to do what you love. And to me, this Harley shit ain't cheap at all. So I had to make sure I grind to make sure, you know, I have the next things in life I want.
I think like everybody's path in life is obviously different. Mikey, you had, and I did too, because I have a 17-year-old, but
Right.
you had your kids younger age, early, right?
Yeah.
And so just touching on what you said, like, did I miss out? Did I do this? Did I do that? No. The answer to me, when I look at friends that are like yourself, Joe, they also have, you know, and I had younger children too, but I turned the dial back.
Right.
You know, I turned that clock all over again. But I see homies like this that they raised good kids. They still did their thing and they got their shit together at a younger age and still now able to go and have a good time.
Yeah.
And the partying, let's air quote it, is different than it was when you're 21, 22, hitting the club, you know, chasing ass, chasing tail, doing that type of shit. The partying now is owning the fucking motorcycle, hanging out with your homies. You know, you have that flexibility. So, no, dog.
Right. And that's why I felt that like a year ago. And she was like, no, like,
no,
you're so even now I'm like, bro, like I'm chilling. I'm so happy where I'm at in life. Like but it took a lot of grind and a lot of struggle and a lot of those dark nights, like we talk about with mental health, to get to this point. But I think if you use those as fuel and as fuel to the fire, you'll be good. If I think a lot of us too, like when we talk about mental health, we want to find the problem, right? So we can talk about the problem, fix the problem. Those problems aren't going to go away by talking about them, but you can find better solutions and better tools to cope with them.
Feel you.
But that's like the main thing, you know what I mean? Like if you let your past and you're growing up, you know what I'm saying? I told people the other day, I said, no one gives a fuck if you have two parents, one parent, your parent was a millionaire, your parent was broke as shit. At the end of the day, you turn 18, you got to get a job. The job's supposed to get done. We already know we got to go to work, get the job done. So how do we go to work, get the job done, and make sure you take care of your mental so you're able to continue to provide and able to continue to function with your homies and not go ghost because you don't feel like yourself anymore.
Yeah. It's a lot of weight, dog.
Yeah.
It's a lot of weight, man. There's so many different outlets of it. There's so many different things that it fucking bears. But
you got to find your niche. Some people go to the gym. Some people work on their bike. Some people, whatever it is that they do, some just take off middle of the night on their bike, do something.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
that's just their outlet. And that sometimes that's why we do what we do. Like I said, but sometimes the bike is the outlet. For me, it is. I've been around motorcycles enough, or at least around motorcycle people. There is always a crowd it's like, look at me, I got a Harley, and there's that crowd. But for majority of us, whether it's a Harley or Ducati or any other bike out there, the majority of us,
the bike fucking does exactly that.
Yeah.
And that's why
Right.
we need that, you know, and it is a male dominated sort of, you know, industry, but there's a lot of women out there, but it probably does the same exact thing that it does for us when
Absolutely.
you get on those
Absolutely.
fucking bars.
Absolutely.
You know, you get behind those bars and you just kind of get lost in your thoughts,
Yeah.
you know, and you come back and you're like, cleared my mind. That's kind of you talking. That's you
Yeah,
may not be
for sure.
screaming at, you know, flapping your gums and someone's listening to you, but you're just going, yep, I got it out. Trust me, I've said it before on other podcasts, and I do it all the time. You do it probably behind your windshield and your bars and in your helmet. You do the same. You fucking fix the world's problems fucking inside of your
Absolutely,
helmet,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I get so lost in my thoughts sometimes, and then I come home and I'm like, damn, now I got to execute.
Yeah,
You
for sure.
know? Now you got to go and execute this.
I
shit.
get lost and I'm like, damn, I gotta slow down.
Yeah. for sure.
My bad.
Or you know it's a $130.
Yeah,
It's a fucking next level of shit.
Yeah,
man.
it definitely is. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. It's again, it's I shouldn't say a sensitive subject, but something that's definitely not touched upon. I should say probably not enough in the Harley world as far as, you know,
Oh, for no.
community side, because that's not, it's not looked at that way. I mean, I'm sure, like I said, everybody goes through their shit.
There's
But I think that's the outlet there, is just the Harley world is the outlet. That's why a lot of people fucking stay in it, why they do it, why they keep changing their bike, why they, you know, whatever it may be. That's the stress relief for them. Right
There's a
there.
very machismo thing in the Harley world, man. Like very. And I mean, yes, I get it. I mean, that's the culture. That's what it is. I understand it.
Yeah.
You know, but you could still, in my opinion, because fuck with me and find out. That's kind of like, to be honest with you, like
Yeah.
fuck around, find out, and we'll go from there, right?
Right.
But at the same time, when I'm at Neptune's or wherever I may fucking be, and I'm sitting there drinking, smoking, whatever we're doing,
Yeah.
I can have these conversations still
Yeah.
with other homies out there.
Yeah,
And I do, you know, I
have
try.
no problem when people. It's funny because people ask like, "Hey man, what made you trade your street bike in? Like, what was the whole?" And that's the start of a long conversation. And you know that,
Yep.
you know what I mean. So,
Yep.
and I have no problem doing that. Once I have that conversation with someone with you know, straight face, and they're kind of like, "Damn, bro, I had no clue."
Yeah.
And they kind of have a better understanding of why you do what you do, why you're so focused on executing what you have. It's just because it's just that's your pride now, because there's a reason behind it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Share experiences.
Sure.
I think that's very, like, I am as a man of God and as a husband and as a father and setting an example for my entire household. I try and carry that same message out there in the world when I just meet people, you know, and when there's an opportunity. You and I, like, as dumb as this may sound, or maybe weird as this may sound, you and I were talking about LLCs before, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to spit with you what I know. Like, I'm going to share my
Right.
experience with you, because let's talk about it. You know, in those same instances. Now, this is business you and I are talking about, but when I say share those experiences, talk about those things, I mean, talk about those shit that you fucking got wrapped up in your dome, because I guarantee you, the fucker next to you probably got very similar things wrapped up inside of his dome
Right.
that you'll be able to relate to really quick. I see people saying that they end up having 10, 15, 20-minute conversation with people at the gas station. It's that fucking easy,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
It really does translate like that quick into, sometimes some people just need to, like, oh, someone talked to me today.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and that's like,
And I think
feel
it
way
changes
better.
the perspective of, like, before, and I was a different headspace when people try to talk to me at the grocery store. I'd be like, bro, like, I don't want to hear you talk right now. I just want to go home. But then I realized, like, there is people who don't have anyone to come.
That's crazy. He
Home
understands
too.
that at 22. bro.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, this-
Morning, I used to be
this-
hearing me. I'm like,
you know what I'm saying?
Goddamn, I'm
Like,
I'm not
this,
talking to nobody.
you know what I'm saying?
it's true
Like,
though. It's true.
this 5-minute conversation we had at aisle 3 in front of the cereal, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's probably the only conversation you got that day. So, you know what? I'll give you my 3 minutes. I'll give you my 10, 15.
Yep.
Just to have that, you know what I'm saying? You never know what that little conversation just did for you right now. Or there's been times when me and Mike were neighbors, yo, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Let's go eat. And we would literally just hop on our bikes and go eat. But I didn't know what that was doing for him, and he didn't know what that was doing for me, just to get out of the house and
Do something.
Just,
Yep.
just go eat wings. You know what I'm saying? Have a beer and wings. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
There's times I where I'm you and me, I live alone, bro, and I'm like, man, this sucks right now.
Yeah, we were
I
both
live alone,
yeah,
right? I
I
know.
know. You're just like,
Yeah.
yo,
I feel like it was like they hit a point where it was like 2-3 nights a week. Me and Mike were going to eat together.
yeah, I was like, yo, let's take a dip.
Yeah, we were literally-
just away from me.
Yeah, we would literally hop on the bikes and go eat dinner and a beer. Like,
Nah,
A
it,
good
it,
2-3
it got
nights
to
a
the
week.
point. It cracked me up because I would leave And this motherfucker would text and be like, "Where you going?" Because he hear the bike because we live that close, right? So then Roach would pull up sometimes and bounce, and he's like, "Where are y'all going?" Like this motherfucker would know we're bouncing somewhere. I'm like, "No, man, you don't wake up in time. We're out of here."
Oh, that's fucking funny,
You know,
man.
but no, it's
But you guys do it like that's yet another example. Like you just hit the nail on the head. Something simple like that. Mikey, you fucking said like I'm living alone. I've lived alone.
Yeah.
I know like sometimes you're like, fuck, dude, like no, like I'm by myself.
Yeah.
You know, there's nobody here, there's nothing to do. And I'm fucking at the time when I was living by myself, how old am I now? I was fucking 30. I was 30, 31. I'm like, fuck, I'm a young buck. I should be fucking, you know. But
Yeah.
there are times when you're at your house by yourself and you're just like, you're in a funk, you're in a
Fuck
space,
yeah.
you know.
Fuck yeah.
And you guys doing exactly that. Simple as that. You know, want to go grab some wings? Fuck yeah, I need that. That's kind of in my interpretation what you do. You saying yes? Yeah, I fucking need that. Not
Yeah.
like just like, yeah, that sounds like a fun time. I need that shit. Let's go kick it with the homie.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true.
Yeah.
that
And
one's-
I'm sure like you came back or whatever conversation you guys had, whatever happened at the table that day.
Yeah, because whatever the fuck you're going through, a situation like that, you come back and the situation's sure you didn't take care of it because you're going through it, so you haven't really fixed anything. But the time away from it to be able to say, you know what,
Yep.
let me just clear my head of this shit. Maybe I can attack it differently later.
Yeah.
Attack
you
it
come-
differently.
Yeah,
Attack
but
it
you come
differently,
back with some new shit. You know, like
Mhm.
he can never catch up. So I'm talking shit about catching up. And,
You know what's crazy that he hit on that? Because like I thought I was fast, right? I swear to God. I swear to God, I thought it was fast. Right? I'll give it to Mike, right? Because I always tell people he can't wheelie his bagger like I can, though. We'll talk about that. But
I'm not a
I thought
weird guy either.
I thought I was fast, right? And then the first
Stop
night,
yelling, stop yelling.
I think we went to.
Turn it down. I got it. I got
So
it.
I think we went to a bike night, and I pulled on it because normally I pull on people. He pulled on it, and I was like, "Yeah, let me go sit down. let me go sit down."
No, bro.
He got a little juice in there.
He got a
Huh?
little
You got a little
something,
juice in
man.
there, right?
I like the slow stuff better. I'm liking that.
You're liking that
Yeah.
shit, aren't you,
I like
Mike?
that.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
fun, isn't
It
it?
sucks that I lost to you, but hey, hey, we're 1-1 right now. That's okay.
Well, there'll be
Hopefully in
plenty
Orange County
more.
we can get it running back.
I think Joe made a good point. I think I will too. I think it's probably best that we stay out of our own slow race. That probably should be best. I know, you know, as much as I'd love to participate, maybe Joe and I, you know, just
I'll
off the
say-
top the dome.
I'll
Joe and
say
I would
this.
just have a consolation fucking slow race.
I'll
Him
say
and I.
this: if this probably will never happen, but I would love if I won, then I would say, Ray, let's fucking battle this 1-on-1 out. You know what I mean? That's all.
I beat Ray.
I beat
you
Ray
did-
too.
yeah,
I beat Ray.
no.
I beat
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I think we've all beat each other at the
Listen.
table. Yeah.
I'm not fucking making excuses. I didn't my runs at Live Fast were not I felt better runs. I've done better runs. So
Same.
I didn't feel.
I was talking to Joe. I felt bad. He is like, "Fuck, man, the bike."
I know.
Of all times, for
I
him not
felt
to start.
I know.
like,
He was
"Oh."
like we were all like, yeah,
I was ready. I was
anticipate. We were
stoked
just
right
like,
from-
fucking, this is it. This is like I think Live Fast said it. It's a you know, air quotes Super Bowl of the fucking slow race. That's kind of like this is it right here. This is the jump off. And so when his fucking shit didn't start, my heart dropped for homeboy.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man. And
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
sucks.
dog, I told him, dog, you know my bike is your bike.
Yeah,
Go
just
ahead,
take it.
rock on that thing. I said, but I told him, hey, but if we square up, I don't know what to tell you, dog. Like you're out
You
the bike,
forfeit,
dog. He goes, I know, I got you. So, but you're on that shit now, huh?
I like it.
There's a technique to it. It's
tough, bro.
it's
a
tough.
finesse. It's a finesse.
So what's your guys' technique?
It's
let me hear what your. I'll give mine. Do you guys have? Are you?
I
can
give
you
my
describe it?
Rear brake the love.
You give rear brake. Okay.
I give rear brake the love.
Okay.
I think my like fine tuning your friction point.
Yep.
That's like the bread and butter for me.
Good way to put it.
I don't know.
I
just do it. I just know my bike, dog.
Well, let me ask this: are you using front brake?
No, absolutely not.
Well, are you?
I do.
You do.
I
Okay.
do.
And so that's why I'm asking, because people think, oh, they're just going slow. If you watch, like I
No,
watch
you
Ian
can see
from
me
Beat
snap.
Side,
Like
you can see, yeah, if you watch people's hands and their foots and their this and their that, and if you're actually like looking like, well, this motherfucker, because you're riding a motorcycle at that point, you're
Right.
fucking throttle, clutch, in, out, all this shit. So if you really watch somebody do that shit, there's a little bit of a work of art.
I
That's
had a few
fucking kind of
people.
happening.
I
With
had
that
a few
shit.
people on Live Fast give me some credit. Like, bro, I think it was the last bagger, right? The other baggers. There was no other bagger. There was a blue one. I remember
yeah,
a blue one.
Yeah, I did. I raced a bagger, and then I think someone else did too.
Yeah, because it was Kellen, Brennan, yourself,
I think we only had one bagger at Bike Night win.
and me.
One. It was team.
Anyway,
athlete
that shit's heavy
champions,
as fuck, bro. I'm just glad I can keep that shit up in the front as much as I can.
I don't mind doing it on my bagger. I like doing it on my bagger too because there's a different sense of gravity. But
Mhm.
that Dyna, that's just what they're just fucking like. Oh,
Yeah.
this is the money spot right there. But I'll give you my take because you're just dipping your toe, I guess, into
don't
it,
help
so
him,
to
don't
speak.
help him right now.
No. We got. I want a battle dog. I want him to fucking beat my ass on that bagger. Like he said, what I have learned because I did do at the beginning. More front brake, I kind of like tap it or I'd kind of find it, but then you're fucking trying to throttle tap,
yeah.
right? So rear brake only. So try and just like find whatever you're doing with the front, find that with the rear. And in all honesty, you kind of want to keep that rear kind of just fucking
Halfway
squeezed
down,
a little
yeah.
bit. You want to keep work because what you want to find is exactly what he said, that friction point of where that shit's going. And if you leave just enough on the brake, but you're giving it enough throttle,
Yeah.
you're just kind of almost stalling that fucker.
Yeah.
And now it's just, if you ever done it on a mountain bike, like if you've ever been on a fucking bicycle at a stoplight, and you're just kind of trying to turn the bars to keep yourself straight up. It's a very similar concept if you can find that happy medium. Now, rear brake, as what I have found, I transitioned from using more like kind of stab in the front because stab in the front kind of made me like dive. And then the fucking front end would like cock over to my left.
You should slow race categories.
Just
baggers.
Listen,
I've been saying that.
Dog,
I've been saying that.
I am
for months.
100% down. Like for these Friday night things that I was doing, I want to see if I can collect enough like names before we go out there.
Because it's a lot.
Before we go out there,
and probably a big show. That like even if Orange County, you did Orange County be dope. If there's enough people that sign up
for just a bagger one.
Yeah, if you doubt enough. You know what I mean?
See what I want to do. Like what I was thinking. Hear me out. It may be a completely stupid idea and it may not even be able to work. But I was thinking, hey, like we did Friday when we went to the beach, just fucking post up. But I will get enough people before we go there. So I know that we have slow race before we go there. And I'll do a bagger bracket and maybe a Dyna bracket. And I'm thinking like $10 fucking to join it. Winner fucking take all, dog. Winner fucking take all. Maybe second place gets their money back type shit.
That's funny.
And we'll do a bagger one. And we'll do a fucking Dyna one. You know? I think people just have come out and have a good time, fucking beers, fucking.
We had a
around
good time at the beach last time.
I thought so too, man. I like it.
That itself, touching back on the mental health stuff, like just shit like that, bro. Like you notice there was dude that I've never seen him from Oxnard.
There was a couple dude that
I've never met, and great conversation, chopped it up, asked about why they got their bike. One dude said it was his pops' bike. So I was like, I don't remember the guy's name. We just quick little up, you know. But shit like that, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, well, fuck. Little situations like that, get somebody out of the house, introduce themselves to somebody new. You know, maybe they never had any contact with somebody else that rides. And
I think I don't remember who it was, but there was a guy that I forgot his name too, but he was standing. Did you roll through? You didn't roll through that day, huh?
No, I was on San Diego.
Yeah, V and them rolled through, I think, from Psycho Gear. Yeah. But anyways, there was a cat that was kind of standing on the rocks over there for a minute. I'm like, hey, the fuck over here, man. He was kind of fucking chilling by himself, and then he cruised over and jumped up in the circle and shit. But that's it. Maybe now I am speaking 100% hypothetically in this case, but maybe homeboy maybe that was his fucking I need to get the fuck out. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe he was just like, I want to go meet some new heads and I'm open-minded to this shit. But maybe he was like, I need to fucking connect with somebody. I need to talk to somebody. Who fucking knows? The point I'm circling back to is you never really fucking know what homeboy's going through and whether he was there just like on a whim, like I'm gonna try and meet some new people, I ain't got nothing in my head, I'm cool, or he was there just fucking seeking like some fuckers like us to sit and bullshit with.
I'll tell you the best thing that someone came to me and kind of allowed me. Oh, hi there, gorgeous. You know me.
Oh, I know though. Here comes Miss Autumn.
This is primary. Hi, beautiful.
Oh. Mikey's
making me lose my train
long
of thought,
time dog lover.
Yeah,
forever.
My train of thought.
I know. Come here, Autumn.
Not that.
Come here.
She literally made me lose my train of thought.
Oh, she'll do that. She'll do that. Yeah, come on, big girl. Yeah, the boxer entered the chat. Somebody was saying in here, oh man, don't let him talk about those bunny hops. What were we talking about, bunny hops? I think we were talking about maybe we were talking about the fucking slow racing and shit, like
Oh, possibly. I
fucking
don't
bunny
know.
hopping that shit. But those Friday night things are cool. This Wednesday things are going to be fucking cool. I started putting together like
that
a
was
second
cool last
Wednesday
one when we
fucking
rode to the
ride.
cross.
You did pull up on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. This one is next week or a week next Wednesday actually, and then we're gonna meet up actually with Brennan. Brennan usually teams up with or goes on the ride for the Moto Men's SB ride. You ever
Okay.
heard of that?
I didn't know hear about it until you
It's a
posted it.
pretty like it's been going on for a while. Brennan says they get like 100 bikes out
No
there.
shit.
Dude, like 100, 150
Where in
bikes.
Santa Barbara do they go?
So they meet. That's the thing. That's like kind of like the cool, mysterious part about it.
Yeah.
And I agree with it. So the cops aren't like, oh, they're gonna be here. Like,
Sure.
you got 100 fucking bikes rolling through downtown Santa
Yeah.
Barbara. They meet at the Mission. I don't know if they leave at 6 or they meet at 6. One of the two. Every Wednesday, and then they just ride the streets of Santa Barbara.
Got it.
And then they fucking break off. Now, what Brendan told me they usually do, because it's a mix of everything. You got adventure bikes. You might have some fucking Vespas and Enduros and you just got motorcycles.
2 wheels, yeah.
Just motorcycles. And so, like, you got like Cafe Racer crowd that might be a little more uppity scale and like fucking some Brits or something that
Sure.
are all like nose up in the air at Harleys.
Sure.
So Brendan and them will end up going to like a little different spot after their kind of ride. They kind of break off and then they end up maybe at the beach or near a taco spot. So the plan is mob up 101 and then meet up with wherever Brennan and them kind of land.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll have a nice little stunt show to be able to watch at some point. Or with,
It's always something. with it.
Brennan's fucking around,
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's going to happen. So, but yeah, just one more outlet, it's what I'm trying to do, man. As much as I like the media stuff, as much as I, be willing to go out on a limb and talk about shit like this when we're a motorcycle type shit, I need the riding.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I need
I think
to be
that was a
fucking
great thing
connected with the
that I
people.
admired at the beginning of the ride last month, and you were like, "I got to get back to the basics."
That's
all,
it.
all the rest of this stuff is great, but I gotta ride my bike, and I was like, yes, because it's
Yeah.
how we met. We were riding, but then we hit like a long
Yeah.
period where like we would see each other there, but we wouldn't get to ride together, and that's where the bond
Yep.
begins. You know what I mean? Getting back to the basics, like I said, is just there's nothing better.
That's
than
at the base of all this stuff, man. There's a thing that I have, and maybe I put it on a shirt. But if you're not having fun on your motorcycle, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
like
right.
if the motorcycle isn't putting a smile on your face, if you're there for the show or the this and the fame and the this and the that, no, it's the wheels. And that's what I needed to do. I need to get back on fucking wheels with people like the people that support us, like you and fucking Mikey and all the homies that roll to bike night and shit. Like, yeah, I see you at bike night, but I didn't roll with you to fucking bike night. I
Right.
didn't ride with you. So I want to ride with those fucking people that support us and all that, man. Are you going to, by the way, June 29th? You rolling out to Orange County?
Where you
We're
going?
going to miss you on that.
You got San Diego? again?
Oh, yeah. You got
sure.
way
I'll be
bigger
home.
priorities.
I'll be
Yeah,
home.
yeah. He's all fun. That's why he said, nope.
That's right.
Yup.
I'll be home.
Yeah, you're going to be dealing with the baby. Yeah. You
Yeah.
taking a little time off of work then?
We're giving me our Navy's giving me 90 days.
3 months. Fair enough.
And then
It's pretty good
I'll
bonding
probably
time.
take a good 2 weeks off of wrenching at least.
Yeah.
More than likely will end up being longer, but because I'm getting out at the end of the year, I kind of can't say no to too much because
I
I'm trying
feel
to
you.
stack up a good 6 months worth of
Yeah.
cash. So probably about 2 weeks from everything completely, and then little by little I'll start adding back.
You got a
in.
name?
Yes,
Can you say it?
not yet.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
all good. That's all good. Hey, those are there's certain things that just I get it,
Yeah.
I get it. But the sex,
Yeah,
okay. And Mama's, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's happy.
No,
Yeah,
I'll
she's
bet.
happy.
I
Yeah.
bet, man. I got dog, girl, dad,
Team
girl,
girl,
dad.
dad.
Look at even my dogs, girls, dog. That
Yeah.
the boxer and the Chihuahua, both girls, man. So you're 22.
Yep.
22. You already got like a head on you to the point of understanding because this is grown men talk.
Right.
This is a fucking, we're talking, but this is grown folks talk. This is what men talk about. And at 22, dog, you got a good head on your shoulders, man.
Appreciate it.
Keep fucking hanging out with homeboys like Mikey. Mikey's been Mikey and I, fuck dog, how long you and I been fucking knowing each other
Street
now?
bike days.
Softball days.
Softball, street bike days.
So how long ago was let's say softball? Because that would probably be my first. How long ago did we
So I always
swing?
go by it this way. I'm like, I've been at the shop for 10 years.
Is that when you stopped playing ball? No.
So it's got to be a little bit longer than that now. Yeah.
Okay, when did you start playing ball?
Shit, I don't know, bro.
I'm saying
It's been a long time.
2005.
Yeah, it's been a long. I can go back in some archives and look, but
20. That's probably a good fucking 15 years.
Almost
15, 20 years, man. Time flies,
oh,
boy.
yeah, one of my employees was born when I graduated, bro. I'm like, man, this. What? He's like, yeah, I was born whatever else. Like, bro, I was
1983.
graduating that year. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, you
But-
probably see a lot of youngsters coming through your
Yeah,
shop too, huh?
you know what, dude? I do get a lot of youngsters, but being a dad of 22-year-old, 20-year-old, teenager as well, you can kind of get them to understand a little bit more. You know what I mean? Get them to
You know how
understand.
to
Get
talk
them
to
to
'em.
understand that I understand. So it makes it a little bit easier to break the ice. But yeah, bro, I see all walks come in.
Which,
and-
by the way, dog, fucking let me make sure that give it some love, homeboy. Where's the shop at? Come on, dog. Hit him with
you know
fuck,
me, bro.
I'm on that vitamin tip, right? I'm on that workout
See,
tip,
a lot of
dog.
people don't know that, but they see me, one slow bagger. They see, and I had to separate the trainer supplement side of it and do, the NutriShop guy thing on the other side of the Instagram.
Did you end? You did end. I saw.
Yeah,
you, I
it's
saw you
separate.
doing that.
It's separate, and it's only catered to. Well, hello there. It's only catered. Go ahead.
Lost the camera.
Oh, I did. Oh, I
Oh.
did.
His
Oh.
battery's dead.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
maybe. That's all right. You guys fucking
well.
still hear us. I'm not fucking with it.
Yeah, it's just catering to that side, just more on the supplement and helping people understand more on the training side. If you have
NutriShop.
questions, yeah, I separated the NutriShop page for myself.
Good.
And the bagger page
kinda
because I
have
get
to.
bro, I get a lot of questions about the bagger, and then the questions about supplements and food and shit like that. I'll get pushed down, and I feel bad that I'm not able to
Yeah.
answer back. So if I can separate the two, which I first did, a lot of people were like, "Is this really you? Is this a spam page? Like, what is this?" I was like, "Yeah, it's me. What the hell?"
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm able to separate the two and manage both sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Because
just
the bagger
recently
page
did
is
that.
getting pretty. It's
You
not.
just did that
I
too.
just recently made like a personal with
Yep.
just like family stuff, and then just strictly bikes because it was like
Yep.
even now I feel like I get. I'm sure you feel the same way. You feel the same way. I get lost in like this customer will be like, "Hey, like they'll ask me something. I'm like, oh, I'll get to it." And I'll like
Where
use
was
so many
it?
things, and, like, I'll be searching for it. Like, dang, like it.
So
No,
yeah,
it
a lot of
definitely builds
people
up.
in the bike industry after they figure out like, oh shit, like then they'll ask questions about things, and I'll kind of veer them towards that. If they have questions about that shit, I'm like, send it to that because usually I don't answer anything
Yep.
catered to training and supplements and shit on the bagger page. It's all about what's with the bike,
Yeah.
what's on it. Shit, like I want to kind of keep it that way,
Just
so I'm able to
bike
focus
rails.
a little bit more. Yeah,
What's that?
Just bike rails.
just keep collabing my shit, man. So I don't have to post nothing.
I know. Isn't that the best?
Just collab my shit. So I don't have to
It'll
post
be like
nothing.
2
love
in the
that
morning,
shit.
and one of us will be up, and it'll be like, "Ding." And it's like a little bike reel or something. Someone ate shit.
I'm having fun with that shit, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, some of the little real songs that come on, I kind of like fucking with that and kind of putting shit together. I don't know. I dig that. It's fun sometimes when I have good footage. Usually I don't. I'm usually like Live Fast. To be honest, last year I was with my phone videoing, boom, boom. This year, bro, I was in it. Like my phone was in my pocket. I slow raced, so I couldn't really be on it. Walking around, chopping it up with people. You didn't really I didn't
Yeah.
have the opportunity to kind of video, which was a good thing.
Yep.
Because you kind of take it in a little bit more and you have a better understanding as opposed to where you see a lot of people just videoing things like, bro, did you really get the vibe of shit?
Yeah.
Talking to the vendors, talking to people, chopping it up with their bike and shit. There's a few bikes that I hadn't seen in person that I seen on Instagram. And man, let me tell you, Instagram does no justice for some of these bikes.
No.
You can filter and use the best cameras and have your best photographer do it, bro. When you're in person and you see these fucking things,
Yep.
it's a different fucking situation,
The
man.
detail of it.
Oh,
Yup. Yeah, that's why you got to get to you got to get out and see the things.
Yeah.
You got to witness it. You can look at pictures all you want,
Yeah.
but ain't gonna fucking do it.
That's
man.
why I tell a lot of people these shows, you it's really about that. It's a fucking bike night times 10, times 1,000, I should say, depending on which ones we go to.
Yeah.
Some of the smaller ones aren't so, much, but these bigger ones, Live Fast, Born Free, our show, your guys' show coming up on the 29th, fucking Arizona Bike Week. Like you go out there and it's a fucking parade of bikes of beauty too, bro. These things are amazing. These
Yeah.
guys are coming out of the woodworks with shit now that I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna keep my bike the way it is.
I feel like
I
every
tried
time you
to-
go somewhere, it's like right back to the drawing board.
I've tried to compete,
I
man.
stopped
I'm like,
keeping
nah,
up,
I'm
man.
done.
I think I stopped feels like, well, definitely it stopped when Hannah was born, because I was like, I ain't got the funds for this. But it may have been shortly before that too, because I just was like, I can't keep up. Like there's like, and now that was like 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where I'm like, okay, I'm not even trying to keep up.
Yeah.
And if in 2 or 3 years, the shit's elevated even more to try and keep up, man. Like, I don't have the pocketbook for it.
It's changed for me as far as I shouldn't say the reasoning behind it, but going to events, it's a lot different for me now. It's more of just this shit. Like like chop it up. Before it's like you wanted, people to hear your bike, see your bike, shit like that. It's like, dude, they'll look at your bike when they're ready to come and look at it. Just park your shit, fucking have a good time, go chop it up with people, and somebody has a question about it, they'll come up to you and ask about it. It's really not.
The bike's just a machine.
That's it, brother.
It's just a damn machine.
Good machine.
It's a definitely a good machine.
But
hey, NutriShop though, by the fucking way, man. The place
you need
is
to come by, Dick.
I know.
So
the wifey and I have been
NutriShop,
doing some shit, so I need to go get some supplements.
It's here. We have a few locations. There's Thousand Oaks, Simi Valley, Santa Barbara, Oxnard. I've been running Oxnard for 10 years. This November will be 10 years, bro.
A few places.
Well, well, there's options for people. You know what I mean? I'll be stuck. We know people in the Valley too. I know the owners out there in Valley, good people. So if you need to go north or to Santa Clarita, we know some people out there as well. Anywhere, typically, if you do have questions. But if people want to hit me up on the NutriShop side on the on my page, on the One Slow Bagger page, there's the ads on there. Just click that. And hit me up on the other side if people have questions regarding
Mikey knows this shit too.
I've been doing this shit a long time, bro.
Mikey
I don't
knows this
promote
shit.
it because the shop's my primary ride and
you.
stuff, but I do teach throughout the week. I'm up at fucking 3:45 a.m. Tuesday through Friday, bro, teaching from 4 to 7 a.m., brother. I'm grinding, dog. People are like, fuck, bro, your bike has this. But yeah, you ain't up at 3:45
right
in bed at 9 p.m. like me.
I seen this post the other day. I was like, must be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I post something new, I'm like, people be like, and I know this dude's probably got one of the nicest bikes out here. It's like, must be nice. Like, but did you wake up when I woke up, or did you not go on that ride to get home and to stay home and make this ride?
Man, but
it's a lot of sacrifice.
It's worth it, man. You know what though? I can take from that is my kids see that, and both of my boys rolled up on my middle son's birthday, and they both rolled up in their cars, bro. That was probably one of those dad moments where you're like, all right. He didn't ask me for a goddamn thing, and that's what I was like, yo. Usually when I was my age of 20, oh my mom, you can spot me. Can you?
I get down payment or a signature, signature at least.
No, bro, they didn't bother me for a thing, and I think them with the follow of seeing what their mom does. Their mom's fucking a grinder, man, and myself. They just put their nose down and said, I'm gonna do this, and it shows.
That's proud.
That's definitely a good moment.
Proud
bro,
dad moment. You got him coming around the corner, dog. You got him coming around the corner.
Yeah.
You have a proud dad moment the moment you just like pick your head up, because they happen all the damn time, boy. They happen all the damn time. So
I'm glad you touched on this shit, man. I'm hoping that people have, I shouldn't say, people in general, because a lot of people go through shit, man, men and women. You know what I mean? They all go through stuff. A lot of women just feel comfortable open up more on the feminine side to another woman, but sometimes, if there's
a stigma.
Perspective, if there's a perspective that you need, sometimes people need to hear the shit that they don't want to hear,
Yep.
I'm open ears, man. People can hit me up any fucking time. I have no problem talking about
It's good to hear.
the loss of my parents, how it is when you go through your shit, battles with fucking, man, if you could sit down with me and Ray, this, I got some stories, brother, man. People like don't know, I've been in very dark places in my life.
100%,
those conversations really open people's eyes up to be like, damn, I didn't know that about you, is because you're able to grow from that shit, and if you're able to talk about that shit and help somebody that fucking is going through it and pull them out of their funk, bro, that's a positive on my end. You took something that put you down and used it for a positive to help bring someone else up. You know what I mean?
What is the saying? You guys probably help me out with it. I'm sure you heard it. I may butcher it, but like tough times create strong men. Right. Something like
and easy times create soft men. Something like that.
Yeah, right along those lines. But those tough times, man, like losing a parent, and we all lose parents. I get it. It's not like we're the only ones or anything like that. But when you use I lost my old man at 54. Is that young? I would think that's young. I don't want to go at 54 years old. I lost and your parents were relatively young as well. I lost
my dad in 18 and my mom in 21.
Yeah.
So I lost them really close to each other, bro, which was, something that that's a tough one.
Like 2019, I lost my old man in January, and I lost my twin boys in October of the same fucking year. And, my dad, then my boys, and then the grief of my wife and all that shit but I look back 100% now. And in that moment, dog, I was just fighting. I was just like bearing down, like
Trying to comprehend everything.
getting through this. Like
Yeah.
I just had to be the rock, right? And that's what I was doing. And then maybe 6 months later, when I was finally able to process a lot of the shit, because I'm trying to bear all the blunt of it,
Sure.
is later on when I fucking realized, like, man, that made me who the fuck I am right now. And my head on my, my head on my shoulders, right. It put me in a totally different mindset, because you can do two things: go into a depression with stuff like that, which is 100% like justifiable, I guess, or you put your head on strong and you think, okay, why did this? Maybe why? God had a reason. There was and then you get your mind right and go, all right, let me power through. God, I don't know why, but the man up above me knew why. Maybe something happened with my wife. These are the things that these are the ways, in my opinion, how you kind of deal with these things, and you don't go into dark places like, why me?
Right.
You got to kind of, mindset is very important to me, man. And
I think everyone goes through a crisis point. And what I mean by crisis point is everybody goes through shit, but it's that one thing that happens where you just kind of have a better perspective of it, and you're like, okay, shit needs to change. You know what I mean? This is wrong. This is not the way to go about it. It could be in any situation. You went through a serious crisis point where it's like, fuck, man, I had to bear all that, and now I need to make a change as far as making this shit right, get us better, focus on what we need to do to rebuild and make this shit right. And a lot of people don't go through that early in life. Sometimes they go through it later in life and they think, fuck, dude, I'm already in my late 40s, my 50s. But yeah, you realize it now, and you got to make a fucking change.
I'm a believer that the things that have happened to me in my life at the times that they happened for me in my life are because to mold me into the man that I needed to be for my children. Like I believe that wholeheartedly. My old man passed at 54. But, I lost my stepdad a few years later, but I had him in my life to teach me how to be like a Christian and a good heart. Like all these things, in my opinion, happened to me at a certain time in my life to mold me into the man that I need to be.
Big. And it's another thing that two wheels transferred over that me and Mike have been through twice, like the last couple of months, was if something's not going right on your bike, like let's say before a big trip, and I know we're trying to scramble to get the newest parts that we've got on the bike or whatever, but whenever there's too many things going wrong on the bike, that's like, all right, you know what? Maybe I need to sit this one out. Yeah, something is telling, because I remember we had a run back in January, and I wanted to go so bad. I had got the bike ready, got the heated suit on. It was like 40 degrees already. Got the heated suit on, about to hit the desert. And before I literally got to the freeway, the check engine light turned on. A car almost hit me, and my glove flew off the bike. And I was like,
yeah, it's time to go home.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't even got to the freeway yet.
Time to go home.
And I was like, you know what? Let me just go home. So I called my lady, hey baby, I'm not going, I'm staying. But it ended up being a great weekend. But to me, I'm like, something bad was probably gonna happen on the road that weekend. Yeah. And there was those three things like striked out right before I got to the freeway. I was like, yeah, I took all the heated gear off, the chaps off. I was like, we're good. Well, we're gonna chill at home, and this is what it is. Just, you know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason.
Pay attention to the signs, man. I'm a believer in it, man. Well, listen, fellas, I do appreciate you guys like being willing to be vulnerable to a degree, come out and be real about it, have like, to me, this is real men, grown folk type of conversation, man. This isn't, although you're a youngster, dog, you having a grown conversation.
Real quick before we sign off, like maybe he hasn't gone through so many things that we've gone through, but having these conversations with people that have had experiences kind of preps them. And it's like, I know these waves of emotions are going to come with whatever the fuck may happen, but I remember having these conversations with a couple of my dudes, and I know how I'm going to look at things, and it kind of helps you get a bit of perspective as to, what to expect, expect the unexpected, so to speak. Right. So it's like, at least I'm prepped for it in a way too, where I have an understanding if something does happen, God forbid, to where you have to be that. But yeah, man, I think you definitely touched on a good subject. It doesn't always have to be, about, talking about our bikes and, what's the best part and who's best paint job and shit. Sometimes it gets down to the nitty gritty and figure out, why we do what we do. Why do we sit and wrench for hours? Why do I detail the fuck out of my bike at 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock at night when I should be asleep? We got things going through our head where it's like, that's our outlet. Yeah. And, sometimes we feel that the outlet is only that, but it's not. Sometimes you got to reach out to your bros, reach out to a friend. Talk to your lady sometimes. Sometimes we feel, you know, I shouldn't be talking to my lady, but she's your lady for a fucking reason. You know what I mean? That's your
Yeah,
partner, man.
yeah.
Like, let her know, like, yo, I'm not good right now. What do you think I should do? She'll give you some perspective and
Yeah.
probably tell you who you should reach out to and get some love from. You know what I mean?
Probably some good advice. There's a reason that you said that to close this motherfucker out, because it's probably some advice that I could solid take from you and go, I'm gonna let my lady know.
Right,
You know.
right.
So definitely, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate you fellas rolling out Prodigy
Yeah.
the Mechanic Dog. That's
Yes,
where you
sir.
can find
Thank
him.
you for having us.
Mikey,
Appreciate you. big dog.
always fucking fun
Always,
having
bro.
you, man. You guys are always welcome. You know that. The garage is always open to you, man. I hope your shit with Bryce works out fucking well.
You got bike night coming up.
Yeah,
Next
next week. Well, Cycle Gear one next week. Then
And
There's nothing. You have another. There's no just cycle gear, right?
no, well, Cycle Gear we do second Tuesday, and Law Tigers brings us to that one because they kind of sponsor that one, and then of course third Tuesday. Well, that's our show.
Yeah.
You know,
Third Tuesday this month is what day?
Oh gosh, I gotta look.
18th?
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm not sure.
I'm
Third-
young, I'm young for a reason.
I'm young for a reason. He's quick with it.
June 20th.
June 20th.
This 20th.
June 20th.
Okay.
Ooh, June 20th? Shit. I'm
Yeah.
off June 20th too. Look at that.
It'll
Look at
work
that.
out for
man.
everybody.
Well, that's the week actually of Born Free. By the way, are you rolling Born Free? No.
That's dependent.
No, you're
That's
fucking no,
dependent.
that's too close.
probably not.
You just stay home.
Yeah.
You be the good new dad. You ain't got to be
Be
too
home.
far away from
Yeah,
home.
exactly.
You be where you need
I'm
to be.
actually
you know?
taking a trip for my birthday.
Okay.
So I told Joe, I was like, I had to sacrifice one show and it wasn't going to be the 29th. So I'll sacrifice Born Free.
But at Cycle Gear, I might have, and I say it's a big might. I'll double check if they're at the house. But I might have 2 grass passes for Born Free. We could raffle off at.
Oh, let me know that.
I'll
if
let you know for
if
sure
you
when I
do,
get back.
if you do,
Yeah.
then we'll
I'll
figure out. a
I'll
way
check
to do
tonight
something.
when I get home and I'll text you.
Fuck yeah, man. All right, guys. Well, you know the place to catch us. We're going to get back here every week, Thursday, 7 p.m. But if you need more, want to listen more, find all the other episodes. Spotify is where you find us at. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hey, trip out. Joe and I actually are getting now paid on YouTube. What?
That's
Oh,
dope.
that's dope.
Good for you.
I was like,
That whole
what?
spiel right now, it sounds like it was fucking recorded. So you do that shit all the fucking time because that's what I put my head down, bro. That sounds like a fucking recording to me. You know what I mean? That's good
All
shit.
right, fellas.
All right,
Get the
big dog.
fuck out of here,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, bro.
Appreciate you guys,
Yes, sir.
man. Later.
Fucking pre-recorded.